Today I played a very heated second round match in the ITF 15K of Guatemala, Mexico. This match had everything: good tennis, too many shanks, and friendly exchanges with my opponent. If you've seen my last video, you know how I'm in Mexico for 3 weeks competing in ITF tournament. And after having made quarters the previous week, I qualified and won my first main draw match this week as well. And I was now facing the number 2 seed, Aiden McHugh, ranked 461 in the world, for a spot in the quarterfinals. Right, we're getting straight into the match today, and there's one unique thing you need to know about my opponent. That was that he sliced pretty much every single backhand. Not sure why, but I think his game relied a lot on making you play bad in many different ways. This is a bit like playing myself in my last college season, where I also sliced most backhands because I was injured. So it was essential here to stay composed and not try to overly hit hard, especially because with the altitude the ball would fly very easily. I kinda had to accept that I couldn't really do as much as I wanted on his slice, simply because they were low, and lifting the forehand in these conditions even a tiny bit was very risky. So I kinda had to play as if it was any other shot, even though it was a bit slower, and wait for the right ball to go to the net. Alternatively, I could have gone to the net every single ball on his backhand, but I learned firsthand being on the other side in my past year that it wasn't that easy, and even when I was playing slice only, I could defend myself fairly well most times. We both had straightforward holds to start. And as you can see here, these were the right opportunities to go up, playing deep to his backhand, so he would leave it short and then conquer the net, or try to. Again, moving him around and try to be as grounded as possible was the best bet. If it wasn't high altitude, I could really rip to the backhand, but here I just had to play as I did the other matches for the most part. 30 love, and I haven't been making too many first serves, although I would get attacking chances of the second as well here and there. And there he hits the first backhand but misses the pass. Here finally a first serve to the body and then try again to push him back with the inside out. And then his slice while going back and keeping it low is very hard. So far so good then, and I'm starting to see that he's being more aggressive with the forehand, because so far he's been just kinda making balls. And here's a classic 40 love down return winner. Good serve at 40-15 to make it 2-2. One other tricky aspect to keep in mind and balance was to not lower my pace. I was focusing on not overdoing slow balls, but I also couldn't lower my pace too much in body movement or I would miss balls like these. Obviously at the start I was still finding the right power and feeling my swings, but I had to keep my pace in the middle, not too fast and not too slow, and try to move it around and open up the court. I'm up 30-15, and this is the perfect example of the middle ground that I was just talking about. Perfect pace. Too good by him this point, not a whole lot I can do. Anyway, it's 40-30 now, still trying to close this game out. We engage in a little slice battle here cross court until I go line and then hit my first shank of the match. And yeah, from there it kinda started to go wrong if I'm being honest. Not sure how looking back, can't tell where exactly it started, but I'm a bit late on a few balls now and another shank right here. So now I'm facing a breakpoint all of a sudden. My passing shot just stops on the net straps and I'm a breakdown. Yeah, that got me quite angry and was unexpected too. And the neutral reaction there is to try to be more aggressive and take out the anger, but that didn't work out. I'm 30 love down here and I need to try to regroup and find starting ground to try and break him back. His serve wasn't great and frankly neither were his ground strokes in my opinion, but he didn't give much for free. I'm looking for an opening here and decide to go line off his forehand, and then I had to close the point one way or the other. A free mistake here, and obviously aside from this point lost, this was no good at all for my confidence, which kept decreasing. I lose the game to go down 4-2. Back to work on my serve, trying to at least stay right behind him score-wise, but another shank. I find myself love 40 down, and after an ace 15-40. Starting to have less patience in all honesty, but here I play a good point and make it to 30-40. but a double fault puts that all to shit, and now I'm down 5-2. It was very tough in these conditions, and you've probably seen my other videos, to make any adjustments at all, or just make balls due to the altitude, so playing better throughout the course of the match was very difficult. 30-15, and he serves out, I'm pretty sure, or at least not obviously in. From the replay it looks more out than in, but whatever. 40-30, 2 points later, and he misses, so I'm in this game. Let's see if I can make it back into the set. Yeah, the forehand shanks were stacking up, and I don't remember ever shanking this many, but... yeah, here I'm able to make the approach, and he misses the pass. And yeah, although I was playing some points better, I was still inconsistent for the most part. And some points I would still make horrible choices like these. The forehand missed there, and that's a set, 6-2. I started the second set with a double fault, and I was gonna say it can't get much worse, but I'm on track for that. I mean, typically when you miss these many balls and not play well, you would maybe lift your shots a little bit or try to be more intense with your feet. But none of those things worked here, because the ball would fly, and moving too much, you would risk mishitting. You had to stay grounded here and barely move throughout the swing to make shots. Now, I don't mean any of this in a complaining way, I'm just trying to illustrate the difficulties of playing here, and hopefully these tips can help you as well if you ever play in altitude. With a little bit of luck, I'm able to take home the first game. Finally shank on his side as well after a long rally, made me feel less alone. Love 15 then, and I'm back to the roots of trying to move him around and build the point being composed. I do accelerate with the forehand here though, opening up a chance for a good approach. He throws up the lob and, well, this happens. He says thank you and aces me. 30-15, and I don't even know what happened. I'm just kinda in this point now and he shanks. But it remains in, of course, and I forgot I'm playing at 2,700 meters and go full pace, obviously out. Time to reset this game, too much going on last game, and I set myself up here after a good serve, and there's a second backhand to pass me line. I was finding some more first serves now, but he was returning fairly well. So there was not really a lot of free points, I had to work a lot of the time. Lot 30 here, already in a tricky situation. I take that long rally and pump myself and hit an ace right after to get the 30 all. I win the next point too, so I'm 40-30. I need to stay locked in and not give anything for free. It's essential to stay ahead in the score and try to put some pressure on him. He approaches to the net, but I'm able to pass him, and that was so big. Next game he serves out again, I'm pretty sure. Or I don't know, it's close, but I think the red had trouble there on that line. 40 love down and obviously win the point. I mean, that's such a classic. 15-40 now. Let's see, and a good return where he can only kind of make the ball, and from the middle, great forehand cross. I wish I played every point like that. But a return literally to the back fence cuts my hopes here. It's back to serving now. The situation score-wise seems without too much trouble at the moment. But that's also how it was in the first set before it all went wrong. So we need to keep the focus here. A good backhand line that gets him on the reach, and I'm able to approach after. He hits the pass and oh god, I missed that. 15-30 now in a short slice that I approach on, and I'm at the net again, but he misses luckily. As you can see, pumping myself up more than I usually would because this phase was really important. Again here, trying to be really careful, but just lift his forehand too much and I miss. Break point. Yeah, so we're down a break again, and this time I couldn't really afford it because I was already down a set as well. So at love 15 here, I'm really trying to fight for my life to stay in this. Unfortunately, I missed that forehand just long and then find myself 30-15 down. But hitting a return winner. But at 30-all, I missed the return, so once again, I'm fighting a game point. Great point there, and I put a sped up timer on the screen right now because this had been going on throughout the entire match. He was taking an insane amount of time between one point and the other, and this was also making it tougher for me to find rhythm. And even from when he was on the line to when he actually hit the ball, it took another like 10 seconds at least. And after a 45-second wait, I missed the return, and then I got served to the next point, so he was up 4-2. I was starting to get quite annoying on his service games, because he would speed up whenever he wanted and then took much more time than allowed when he wanted to hold my momentum, and the referee was doing absolutely nothing. Anyway, I'm 30-15 up this game, playing a pretty standard point here with some slices, moving the ball around, but then he hits the drop shot. And I get there easily, but miss an easy ball. Luckily at 30-all, my first serve comes to rescue. At 40-30, another good serve followed by an inside-out approach, and I'm able to get to 4-3. Grinding out this point here, moving side to side, being as solid as possible, and I'm able to get at the end and start telling the ref that he can't take this much time. Even between first and second serve, it was always like 15 seconds, which is okay once in a while, but not consistently. $15-all here, and he's being aggressive now. He approaches, and I look for too much angle on that pass.
One eternity later.
He finally serves like a minute after, and he loses a bit of court hitting the forehand, so I straight away go inside in and then conquer the net. He wins the 30-all point though, so now has the first chance to go 5-3. He misses the forehand. Now things start to get heated here as I once again tell the ref that he can't take that much time.
Every time you come here, it's another 15 seconds to start serving. Looking at your balls, stick to your head. That's what I'm here. I 1 point every minute. There's no way that's acceptable. Sorry, bro. I had to get the ball from there. I know the problem is when you come here, there's another 15 seconds to serve. That's what it is. I don't care what point you go ahead.
I mean, frankly, big part of the issue, as I'm saying, is that from when he got to the line to when he actually served, he took another 15 seconds at least because his routine was just way too long. You can see here as well, I'm waiting, and of course I'm gonna miss the return. So it's game point again here. And instead of attacking, he decides to drop from me, but I get to it, although not too well. But he kinda gives it back to me and I stay in this point somehow, eventually making the deuce. A good serve by him on deuce, and I'm able to get it back deep and earn my first break point. And of course, a long wait followed. I mean, I don't even blame him for taking this much time, but the fact that the referee did not give him even a warning the entire match is insane to me. Like, I get warnings for time very frequently, and this guy nothing. It's just insane because it's not following the rules at that point. I just wanted to keep the stopwatch on so you get a sense of how much I'm actually waiting between a point and the next. After 50 seconds, he misses the first serve. Another 25 seconds go by. I make the return and set myself up for a forehand, but here we go, another shank. I mean, the fact that from the last point to this point we just played took a minute and 15 seconds of not hitting balls to me is insane. At this point I was losing my head, both against my opponent but also against the referee, who would just refuse to do anything or acknowledge the situation, or even tell my opponent to speed up. Crazy how some of these tournaments are refereed. Okay, having a bit of grace for an altitude, but taking 50 seconds instead of 25 is just unacceptable. And again, he's been going over on the time the entire second set. Nonetheless, I didn't want to give this game up. I was still fighting and doing my best while fighting demons in my head. Another time game point though. And another miss to make it to deuce. And once again deuce. I'm aggressive this point of their turn, and as I see him taking pace off, I waste no time and go back in line. I probably should have gone to the net there, but instead I approach and miss terribly, and that was quite an upsetting game. I had one more chance to get a break though, just had to cruise through the service game and then give it all on the next. Here we go, 5-4, and I'm up level 15. This is one of the points where he was very aggressive. I hit that passing shot and he somehow makes the volley, and I have an easy high forehand, but I choose the wrong side and he makes it in. That was quite disappointing, and to top it off I break the shankometer with another forehand shank. I miss another return and now it's double match point. Right, so we made it to deuce. We're still alive, but not for too long. He aces me T, and I'm down match point again. Yeah, the return doesn't go over, and that's a match. 6-2, 6-4. This was definitely one of my most frustrating matches I played in a long time, and for many reasons. Still disappointed to this day where I'm commenting. First and foremost, I played horrible tennis. Definitely my worst match since being here, but also thought he didn't really play amazing for someone of that ranking. I think maybe due to the altitude that's how he adjusted, and it's difficult to play any better than that, but it just felt frustrating that he wasn't doing too much to earn points, and I was just making countless mistakes. And then obviously the time violation part. That was just simply against the rules, and it was really hard to improve my tennis and find any rhythm whatsoever where I'm hitting a ball like every minute. And the worst part was that the referee refusing to even comment or say anything to him about it. Anyway, I have to put this loss behind my shoulders now because there's one more week to Mexico to play, and I have a feeling it's gonna be the best one yet.